Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. Happy Friday. If it's Friday, it's 3-question blitz time. I've got 3 questions here loaded up for you. I'll start with a quick listing of them, then you can look down in the timestamps for your interested topic, so you can click right to it. Number 1, why don't I run BBS E88 wheels all the time on the M3 taxi? You can see it right there just over the 620R. That's a very good topic that we can go into briefly. Number 2, STO versus GT Black Series. Am I going to get one? What do I think of the 2 cars? That's question number 2. Question number 3 is, Robert, you're too young to have an e-bike. Why do you have an e-bike? And actually a couple insulting comments on that, but we'll kind of touch on that as well. And for the bonus question, this is a fun one. I was going to joke about how I'm a Porsche fanboy because one of you guys told me I was a Porsche fanboy in my last Tesla video. But then Misha popped in and he told me that I influenced BMW and I got them to apologize. Okay, maybe I didn't get them to apologize, but let's jump into the bonus question. Or I guess the bonus topic, BMW calling you guys a bunch of boomers, which I think is one of the just stupidest words that's out right now. I remember some guys around the Nürburgring calling one of the drivers a boomer and really getting on him for something he did on social media. And after that, I've just found it to be such a cringy word. And I think we're actually tomorrow going to shoot a video about BMW's atrocious marketing campaign, maybe 5-10 minutes only on that topic. But I want to read something for you guys. That's why I've got my phone out here. You guys might have seen on YouTube in my community section, I said, what do you guys think of the new FU attitude from BMW? Okay, boomer, and what's your reason not to change? That was a response from somebody who actually said on their Twitter or on one of their social media accounts, go back to making BMWs. And they said, okay, boomer. So of course the internet just had an absolute blast with BMW. I don't know why BMW even apologized. Honestly, if you're so stupid that your marketing campaign is to insult the people that have enough money to buy your car, don't apologize, stick with it and run with it, because it's just the most idiotic thing that I could imagine coming from a marketing department. And so what did they do? It took them 3 days to respond to their own Twitter comment and say, no matter what age you are, we hear you. We are sorry. It wasn't our intention to insult anyone with meme slang. The way into the new world of mobility is bumpy, but we hope you join us on the journey. What do I think about that? What do you guys think about that? Mention below what you think of that. For me, I think it's a bunch of BS. We didn't intend to hurt anybody. Calling somebody a boomer who didn't like BMW's new design is probably talking to millions of people, because if you watch them release this new car, or all of these new cars from 7 Series to the new M4 to the M3 to what's this talking about, some I-Series car, everybody has disliked it. Everybody has not enjoyed it. So they're basically calling everybody a boomer who didn't like these changes. And I think it was just a real poor marketing strategy. A lot of you guys have said maybe they don't care because they're wanting to sell to China and things like that. But yeah, it really is tasteless. I didn't like it, and I think that it shows how immature their marketing department is. I think it shows that they maybe have some people making some decisions, not only in the design team, but also on the social media side, that might need to have their job looked a little bit more closely at. So that would be my take on that right there. Tom Stamp, what's question number 1? Are you paying attention?
Question number 1 is about the Lamborghini.
No, it's not about the Lamborghini. That's number 2. Okay, so Tom Stamp failed. Misha, what's question number 1?
E88.
And what's the answer to that? Go see Misha's channel, okay? Misha and I did a full video where we actually talked about it. Maybe it wasn't a full video, but it was a section of a video where Misha did a lap with Pierre in his XX31.1, which is the sister car to my XX31.2. Mine's faster, always. But the reason that we don't always run the BBS E88s on the taxi is because they are, I would say, a maintenance item. What ends up happening is you have the width of the wheel, and as the wheel flexes, because the cars have so much camber and you drive them so much, they actually get little cracks in them. And it got to the point where we were changing wheel barrels and changing wheels so often that it was actually a nuisance. It was really getting annoying. It's not a safety issue. We've never had a wheel fail to the point that, you know, we're worried about it cracking or causing any harm. But it was to the point where we would lose laps because we would notice a very slight pressure drop after a while, and it was meant that the wheel was cracked. We also got to the point where we were cracking bolts. So in fact, we drilled out all of the E88 wheels that we have and took them up to an M8 size bolt, I believe from an M6. And what that means is that the E88 with cracking bolts and cracking inner barrels with a lot of camber, it simply meant obscene costs in terms of the amount of money that we were spending on barrels. And it also meant that we were losing lap times or losing laps because we were running maintenance. So we would have maybe a fully booked out day, the track would close and we would only have 3 hours left and we would get a cracked barrel. We'd come in, we'd have to swap wheels, we'd lose 30 minutes, which would ultimately be, with passenger changes, 3 laps. So right there, we just lost maybe 750 to 1,000 euro, not even to mention the time lost for the customer, the enjoyment that was lost, and then the cost of the barrels. So it ended up being really just a bad deal all the way around. I won't argue in any sense that I think that the E88s are the best looking wheel on that car. I absolutely love it. So it was obviously a balance. You'll find that if we have a slower day, I've got the E88s on because I like it. If it's a busy day and things are going on, we have to run the ProTrack wheel because it is just the more reliable wheel in this sense with a heavy car. So very interesting question, good question, but we do talk about it. We actually show pictures and videos of the E88s where they're cracked. I give some examples and show what they look like, show where the bolt's broken, everything like that. We'll throw the link to that video down in the description for you guys as well. Question number 2, Tom already knows it, he said it. It's the STO versus the AMG GT Black Series. Which car am I going to get? Which one do I want to get? Let's be honest, I'm at a point where I have too many cars as it is. You know that I'm not a car collector. You know that that's not something that I want to be. I have been driving the 620R primarily on the track since it's been here, and I've really been enjoying driving one car. I've said before, sometimes I'm jealous of you guys that have one car and can really focus on that car, get in a rhythm with the car, and maybe even modify it the way you want. I've been spending time setting up the suspension on this thing and have really been enjoying it. So I'm not looking for any cars right now. However, yes, we've got the AMG GT Black Series, which has just set the Nürburgring lap record for production car. We've got the Lamborghini STO that if it doesn't set the lap record, they will just speed up the video and it will set the lap record. So that's going to be the next record car, I'm sure. What do they mean to me? What attracts me about the two cars? Well, there's a couple key differences we have to think about. As you know, I will tell you that the Porsche is completely different from a McLaren, which is completely different from a Ferrari, which is completely different from a Lamborghini, and so on and so forth. And I think that's true. We might look at it and say they're all very powerful cars with a ton of grip. We've got some that are turbo motors, some that are naturally aspirated, et cetera, et cetera. I think that the Lamborghini is interesting because it is the last standing naturally aspirated supercar in this category. You're all going to tell me the R8 is there. I still think that the R8 is a great car, supercar, but I don't hold it in the same regard as the likes of a Pista or the STO or the AMG GT Black Series. I think it's a wonderful car, but still in the category of a road car, something that you drive on the road. It's not quite on that same track use level in my opinion right now. And I did have one, so I think it's based on experience, not just assumption. Naturally aspirated V10, 640 horsepower, 565 newton meters of torque. It has to be a lightweight car. They're claiming it to be in the low 1,300 kilograms. The AMG GT Black Series, on the other hand, is 300 kilograms more. That's a lot of weight. Okay, that's a tremendous amount of weight more, but it's got 90 horsepower more, and it has 235 newton meters of torque more. That's a tremendous amount of torque more. The 0 to 60 times or the 0 to 100 times are 3.2 seconds, I believe, versus 3.0 seconds in favor of the Lamborghini, which means the Lamborghini's lighter. It gets off the line better. I would suspect that you will see that in reality, the AMG is going to be much faster from 100 to 200 to 300, just because it's going to have a lot more torque behind it. And at that point, the weight doesn't make as much of a difference. The weight makes a tremendous difference off the line. So if you guys are looking to buy a car, you're driving around in the States, stoplight to stoplight, going to get ice cream, blowing doors off, the Lamborghini is going to be quicker off the line. If you're coming out of Flugplatz and you're going full throttle towards Schwedenkreuz, you're probably going to be faster in the AMG GTR, I imagine, because it is going to accelerate faster at higher speeds, because that's where weight is less critical, and that's where torque and power really come into play and do a lot for you. I think that the AMG is going to be how I equate the Porsche GT2 RS to the 620R. I think the AMG is going to be faster. I think it's going to be a car that is going to be maybe a little bit less exciting to drive, but it is truly going to be the faster car. And the STO is going to be the car that's more nimble. It's going to change directions better. And it's going to give way more emotion from that V10 motor. There's no doubt about it. I don't think that Lamborghini has the problem of needing to pipe in sound through the speakers of the car to get the car to sound good. If you watch the AMG GT Black Series video, it is very boring in terms of sound. I was not excited by it at all. I was not impressed by the sound at all. I am impressed by the fact that I think that the AMG GT Black Series could go under 6 minutes and 40 seconds on the Nürburgring, because the track wasn't at ideal conditions, and I'm certain that they could take another 3 or 4 seconds off of their lap time. So for me, what would I go for? You guys know that I'm really enjoying the 620R, and that car is not as fast as the GT2 RS, which is right above it. So that means that I'm actually going a little bit for excitement right now. I'm enjoying the sounds, I'm enjoying the emotions of it. I have to say I would take the STO over the AMG GT Black Series. I can tell you that I have spoken with my dealers on both cars, and I could get either one still at this moment. So why don't you guys tell me what one you think I should get? It probably won't sway my opinion, but I would definitely like to hear what you guys are thinking about it. So last final question, or comment, I guess you could say, is Robert, you're way too young to ride an e-bike. What are you doing? Somebody else mentioned, Robert, you know, the grapes are cool, but I'm not going to look at an e-bike until I'm 65. Neither should you. And I think that you guys are being, well, a lot of you are being very supportive, and you think it's really cool and you want one. But I think some of you guys are being entirely too critical and not understanding everybody's circumstances. E-bikes today have a lot of different variables to them. I've been driving my grape to work every day from my house, which is about 18 kilometers, and I'm able to actually do a pretty good workout. I get my heart rate to about 160 to 170, and I'm able to do that for 30 minutes straight while I'm riding from my house to the office. So in a 30-minute time window, the e-bike lets me get my average heart rate to 160, but I'm right between 160 and 170. I think that's actually pretty impressive. I don't think that that's really a bad thing. If I didn't have an e-bike, it might take me 45 or 50 minutes to get there. And yes, my heart rate would probably be at the same point. I would just be going slower, but that would take me 40 minutes more round trip throughout my day to do that. And I don't necessarily have the time to do it. So right now I'm able to ride the e-bike from my house to work, and I spend an hour a day doing it. And otherwise I'm sitting in the car. And I think that's something that really a lot of people look at and they miss. A lot of people think e-bike, I'm putting that bad boy to level 5 assist and I'm just kicking back drinking a Coke, right? No, it's not like that. You actually have on most e-bikes now, you actually have multiple levels of assist, 5 or 10 different levels, and you can tone it all the way down. And the gearing on an e-bike is also much different. I had actually mentioned to the Grape guys I would love to see an even lower gear, because I would like to work with half a bar of assist. I would like to turn the e-assist off at certain points, but there are hills that I go up that with the gear ratios that I have in the lowest gear, I can't even climb the hill because the gearing is not low enough. So you're actually at level 1 assist, you're working your butt off. And on a normal mountain bike with first gear, you would actually be easier to climb than it is with level 1 on the e-bike. So I think you guys should actually try one sometime if you're going on a longer ride and you maybe want to actually get there, and you also know that you get there and you need to work and get back home at night. That's pretty cool. I've set my assist limiter. The Grape has a limiter where you can actually max out what your assist is, and you can actually set that. I've got that in my phone set, so even if I wanted to, I couldn't go past level 1, which is also really neat, and it gets you trained. There's a lot more to this story that I'm going to tell you guys next month. You'll find out about it, along with a very big giveaway where I'm actually going to give away a great bike. Like I said, that's just for you guys that have made it this far in this video to find out about. But we're gonna announce that the end of next month, and you're gonna see why I got into the e-bike, why I want to give one away, and why I think that the people who are critical of it are actually missing out big time on what an e-bike can provide for somebody that isn't just, oh, I'm hardcore, I ride my mountain bike and I don't need that. So anyways, tell me guys what you think about e-bikes. Would you like a grape or any other type of e-bike? Do you think I'm crazy for riding one, or does it maybe make a little bit of sense? Anyways, as always, you guys are awesome. I'm sorry that I've not been posting as much as I have been. The simple reality is I really enjoy this part of it. I enjoy talking with you guys. I enjoy what's about to come in a half hour when this video is uploaded, and that's seeing the comments from you guys, seeing the ideas from you guys. That's what I really enjoy about it. The feedback I've been getting after the Tesla video, after Misha, Tim, and I did the SSC2 Atara videos has been really cool. I'm humbled by what you guys have to say about it, the feedback you have to give, and I really genuinely thank you for that. So all the messages you send me on Instagram, Facebook, fans only, all that stuff, I'm loving it. So please keep up with all that. Keep me encouraged to get back here in front of the camera, and we'll catch you guys later. Take it easy.